say things about anybody you don't like.
Hey, how are you? You're doing the minutes too?
Hi there.
Gosh. Okay.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh. Hey, man, how you doing?
See you.
Good to see you.
All right.
Hey, Meg. You're stuck with me tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
Is Robin sick or?
Out of town
Oh, okay.
until the 12th.
Okay. So you're covering for everybody right now.
Susan, you had a letter you wanted to give me?
I think he's got his briefcase. Thank you.
Okay.
I think that might be the last chore we have to do. I just want to make sure I have the copies.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that, just with, freezing. I think the rules for the presentation and stuff, and when you don't see one.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's
But what about Tractor Supply or something? Or just get online?
so it's just the one letter, one copy?
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I need to get a copy as well.
But this is the only copy.
That I brought with me.
Yes.
Print off
No,
one.
no, no. I'll go take care of it right now.
on the water yet.
Picture in the look of yours. General, as you come, cousin, someone's face. And she made. Along with my cousin, can't they hear me? What's going on?
Over here? This one?
No, that's the right stuff.
This one?
Read the
Oh,
bunch.
but a Colonel
Colonel Thayer.
Thayer, superintendent. Two goats in the foreground.
There's, I'm not sure how many are coming, but if you can give me all of them. So I need 5, 6. Beautiful, thank you.
Good, how are you? Thanks. Hello,
Hey,
oh,
Kevin.
our special guest.
You're a special guest. I think you're more stuck with me than a
Ah, covering for Robin?
Yes, she's out of
Oh.
town.
Or,
No, you said
or are you
that-
trying to avoid the Christmas party?
I stopped by. So did you say that Stephen and Matthew can't come?
Mike's here.
Yeah,
Steve
Sarita.
can't come. Sarita is coming.
Yes, Rita's here.
And Matt was likely coming.
Likely. Oh,
Maybe a little late. He was
Okay.
coming. He had a business conference down in New Jersey. He was coming back.
That's what he always says.
Because I had 7 o'clock when everyone gets ready.
Oh, this is Sarita.
Yes, Rita's there. I know John's here. No, John. What's his name?
Jonathan,
John.
did Joy.
Yeah, he's here. So, okay.
Got this. How are you, Mike?
That's the file I have, that manila folder. Because I know you say sometimes it's best to have that.
Yeah, it's great.
No, I'm just, that's just.
Sarita, how are you? Let's see if Mr. Bannon.
Mm-hmm. And no Steve.
Nope, Steve can't make it.
Oh, he's my favorite member. What, can I say that out loud?
With ranked voting.
Gosh.
We'll find that Sarita's my favorite member.
Okay.
There you
I'm
go.
her favorite member.
There you go.
Okay, that feels vindictive. And is there's a village Christmas?
Yeah, the Christmas party is down at the SK Lounge.
Okay.
I would think I saw
Which
that.
one?
The
The new.
the new SK
Yeah.
Lounge.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think there's a message there for us.
Yeah, no.
So whenever you're ready to start.
Yeah, let's see. I guess we can start, and then if he joins us.
Okay.
Okay.
Agenda.
Agenda.
There he is.
There he is. Woohoo.
So I spoke with Jonathan, since there's at least 3 of you here, I think it's the decision.
Okay.
Just because they have passed
Sure.
knowledge of the place. Okay.
All right. We all hooked up with, okay. Meeting's called to order. It's the Village of Cornwall and Hudson Zoning Board meeting of December 8th, 2022. We have one item on the agenda today. That is the Glendenning application from 2 Riverbank Lane. Public hearing on application by Susan Eichelberg Glendenning as property owner for variances from section 172-39D of the Village Zoning Code to allow for the construction of a fence/gate that is 12 feet at its highest point when the code provides that fences shall not exceed a height of 6 1/2 feet. The property is situated at section 103, block 1, lot 7, 10.2 and 15.2 in the Village of Cornwall and Hudson. Said lot also being known as 1-3 Riverbank Lane. The property is located in the CR1 Conservation Residential Zoning District. We will open the public hearing. If Ms. Glendenning would like to, or a representative would like to just give us a brief introduction to the application. Yeah, wherever
come
you,
in and
you
dance.
feel comfortable. Just state your name and address and just give us just a synopsis of what the application is.
I'm Susan Glendenning, and this is Archie Elam. We live at 1, 2, and 3 Riverbank Lane, and we're proposing a beautiful new gate as an entry into the property. And we prepared a complete proposal for you. We thought it would be easier for you to see that way.
Okay? So if you just give us an idea of what the fence is, what the proposal exactly entails, and we can.
Well, the reason we want a new gate is actually 2 reasons. One, to protect all the gardens, including the gardens for the endangered species of the butterfly, and to keep the deer from eating all the other historic gardens. And also, I guess in a way, to keep people from coming down that road. It's a private road, and people often come down there and then they don't know how to get out. And so they'll turn around and they'll bump into the fence that's there, they'll run over the grass, whatever. And we also think it'll just be more beautiful for the village to have, what's there now is a very ugly, in fact, when I put up the chain link fence years ago, there was a huge hullabaloo in the community because they hated the chain link fence. If we're allowed to put up this gate, we will be able to take down a lot of the ugly chain link fence and put a beautiful gate and fence there.
Okay. And just to clarify what the proposal is, it doesn't include any extra or replacement fencing. It's just the gate.
It's a gate, a beautiful gate. There's a picture with 2 brick pillars to hold the gate up. We will take down a lot of the chain link fence that's already there, and we will leave up on the left side. We'll take down the chain link fence, and on the left side, we will put up deer fencing, invisible deer fencing. And on the right side, which is now all chain link fence, that will be taken down.
What will replace it? When you say,
We won't, if we have the gate that we're asking for, we won't need it because it'll keep the deer out with what we're asking. So on the right-hand side, all the chain link fence will come down.
I'm looking at I'm just trying to vision, I'm familiar with the lane. Just trying to
Let's see.
picture,
I think you can see on page,
so when you say on the left side, there's a long chain link fence that goes out towards.
that's my phone because the builder who was going to be responsible was going to be here. And I'll bet that's him calling because he may be lost. Let me quick see.
On the right side.
Feel free to answer.
Yeah, so if you go to,
Yeah, it's page 6, slide
page
6.
six,
Yeah.
you will see a couple of pictorials.
Yep.
The one on the left is with the current gate and the property behind you, and you're looking down onto River Avenue.
but come around to the side.
The one on the right side is about the same location, but it points out the section of fence that will come down with the construction of the gate.
I guess I was getting at, I mean, we're putting the gate up to keep the deer out, the deer fence on the left, what keeps it out on the right? Is there other fence that's hidden in
Yes.
there? Okay, that's what I guess I was trying to understand.
yeah,
So
yeah.
this-
There's other what?
Other fencing
Well,
around.
but way in the back of the
Right,
property.
so this fence isn't protecting the gardens right now, it's just there.
It is protecting the gardens right
Then what will protect the gardens then once it comes down, I guess is my question.
Is the gate moving gonna be moved closer to the road? Is that what's
Closer
going?
to the road.
I see.
And we'll
Right.
take down all that fencing, and the reason,
Yeah.
there's other fencing that goes way around the back of the acreage.
Yeah.
Which keeps the deer out now.
Right, no, I know it goes down River Road and comes down along shore and all that, and I've seen that, so this will just tie into that.
Correct.
So there will still be chain link fencing, and this will tie into it closer to,
But the part that the people driving around the community will see will be more beautiful and less chain link fence.
well, they'll see it because it's closer to the road.
Correct.
Right, so
They'll
we'll
see
see the
the
gate
gate.
because it's out at the road as opposed to right now, there's your property is set back, well, not your property, but the entrance, that the gate's set back from the road.
But
So this
but
will be-
also the chain link fence that they see now, when they're driving around, will be gone.
Right, the one on the left side that you see as you come around, come down River, and your lane is off to the right, there's that chain link fence past there's a white house there.
Right, and all in front of the, and that helps me. All in front of the White House, that chain link fence will be able to be gone.
Okay, so that'll be gone, and then on the left side, which we don't see so much, but that's the gate coming forward and tying into the remaining existing fence.
And then on the left, there's chain link fence now, and we'll put deer fencing there, which is black and less,
Yeah, okay. And then how tall is this construction, the pole that it's gonna tie into, the column that you're proposing? I see a picture of, is this a picture of it or a representation
The
of what
man
it
who's
should look
coming
like?
is the one who's going, if you approve,
Okay.
in charge of he's lost.
But-
I don't know how to go find him.
Yeah, let's go hunt down. So if you go to, you want to go hunt down? I'll take them through slide 10. So if you go to slide number 10,
10, yep,
on the left side is the proposed design.
yep,
At its maximum in the center, it'll be 12 feet,
Yep.
thus why we're in here.
yep.
And then on the ends, 9 feet, and then curb slope up to the center.
Right,
The picture on the right side, that brick column, not the doohickey on the top,
Right.
but the brick column there'll be one of those on each side to anchor the gate. So that's the concept.
it's not currently there, this is just a representation of what the column will look like that the fence is anchored to,
Yes, sir, that's correct.
without the doohickey on top, got it.
And it's brick pillars on a.
Brick pillars,
each
yes,
side.
sir.
And the reason for brick is because it matches the 1844 house, which is on the National Register.
Yep.
And those will be, it looks like the fence is 9 feet at the hinge location, so it's
Well, what
They'll
we've
be-
learned
slightly taller than that.
What we've learned is deer can jump over 8 feet. We've had it happen, including a bear. Mostly deer can jump over 8 feet. And so that's why we want to start at 9. And the reason it has to go up so high is because to be beautiful, it's got to have some curvature.
Okay, and just to confirm that, I'm a little fuzzy on what's happening with right now you currently have
On the map
your
here.
photo,
On the map.
this is your current gate,
Yes,
correct? Now this is
Way back.
set back
considerably further.
considerably from the public road, from,
Well, the new gate will be set back a good amount of ways from the road. In fact, I own a house on 30 River Avenue. This is clear inside that.
Yep.
So we're no place close to the road.
Yes, sir.
That gate was replacing an existing gate, and it's been there for years and years, and
Okay.
it's ugly, obviously.
is there a reason why you're not putting it just in this location?
Yes, because people come down that private road, and then they get stuck, and they don't know what to do. They don't know not to come down there. And also, our experience is that the deer come clear, they'll come down in the morning, and you'll see them all standing, it's like a buffet for them. And the other thing, by moving it up to the closer to the road, we can take down all the chain link fence. With the current location, you have to keep the chain link fence up to keep the deer out.
The extensions you have
So
on the,
that's the part I don't understand.
I don't
If
either.
you move the gate closer to the road, you're enclosing more area. So you need more fencing.
No.
No.
I think as I understand it, maybe the applicant can correct me if I'm wrong, but once they move the gate up, there's then gonna be a section of chain link fence that's essentially behind the gate and inside the perimeter, and
Right,
that's
and-
what they're gonna be removing.
And we won't have to leave it there anymore.
right, so the,
So there's a section of, yeah, I'm telling you, make it clear. So if you're driving down the street, you see the outer
Right.
chain link fence, right? None of that's going to be
And the
affected.
chain link fence in front of the White House.
Yeah, right.
But by moving it,
If you go to that, if you come off the road and turn right, you'll look to your right and you'll see a section of chain link fence that runs in front of the Clark King House, which would be 2 Riverbank Lane.
Yep.
no, one river.
I'm sorry, 1 Riverbank Lane.
Yeah.
That's the section that will be taken out by putting this,
yeah, by moving the fence forward, they need less
moving the fence forward.
fencing.
But moving the gate forward.
Yeah, moving the gate forward, they need
Because
less fencing
The gate is so
far back on the
large
property.
and tall that it blocks where the fence is now, so the fence
No,
can be
it-
removed.
Because so here's the road, here's River Road coming down, and so there's this road
Yeah,
going in.
I'm taking
Yeah,
the
So the
that
gates,
part I know.
this is the gate, so they're
Yeah.
gonna move it here,
Okay.
so they don't need this fencing,
Oh, gotcha.
okay? So
Okay.
this fencing needs to go
So
away.
there's still fencing
There's still
on these
fencing, that's what I'm
sides,
saying,
it's
they're gonna
just this
tie it into
part.
the existing fencing, but by moving the gate forward, the fencing that it would now be behind the gate,
Can go.
you no
That
longer
part
need.
can be gone.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
the-
and you can see on page 4, man, if you go to slide 4,
Yeah, so, yeah,
you
let's
can
look at it.
see where 30 River Avenue is. And the section on the right side, you'll see what looks like a gap between trees there. That's the section that we're talking about.
I see. So the fence that you're removing is fencing within your own property?
Correct.
Right.
Okay. It's not perimeter fencing, it's
No, sir.
inside your own yard
It's just-
along the.
But you see it from the road, and it's ugly.
But the other fencing that's there then will be remaining or will be replaced with a new fence? Cause in it, I mean, the gate is gonna be limited in the space that it's in, right? And then,
Mhm.
so you've still gotta put fence around the whole perimeter.
But the fence is already around the whole.
It's already
So you're
there.
just keeping the same fence.
the existing
and it's
fencing
just
remains.
The gate that you're changing.
And then you're gonna tie it in, it said on one side with the deer fence up to where the existing chain link fence is, which will be less visible because it's dark or black.
Correct.
Okay.
The
And that-
bottom line is, anything we can do to make it more beautiful, we're gonna do.
Now, the height of the existing fence, how high is that? I mean, you,
It started out at 6 years ago, and
Yep.
as I said, the deer were jumping, so we added to make it 8 feet. We just added wire, I mean, nothing
yeah, you can see that on the photos,
nothing
right?
fancy, but
And so in addition to the gate, and there's also gonna be the addition of, you'll add in fencing as well, that'll be at 8 or 9 feet. This, the fencing you're proposing, the deer fence you're talking about. So you're gonna construct the gate with the pillars.
yeah.
And so we're seeking a variance for that because it's over 6.5 feet. but you're also constructing fence from that post to tie into the existing fence that will be over 6.5 feet.
Oh.
I mean, that's what I understood you to say about
Well-
putting in the deer fence. You're gonna add an addition.
Actually, there's chain link fence there now,
Right.
which we want to take down and put deer fencing in. I don't know how tall it is, but it's
Yeah.
not really that important because that's covers the ravine
Uh-huh,
and the deer really don't come up that hill much. We want to do it for protection, but
right. I just want to make sure we've gathered the scope of
Yeah,
the
I think-
project, because it sounds like there's additional construction being considered here that would, I don't know if it requires a variance, or if it's just tied in with this, if you're gonna add.
Well, we could leave the fence there as it is if you don't want us to.
No, I'm just, that's not what I'm saying, I'm just trying to understand the scope of the
secret is
project.
here That because where we want to put the deer fence, where there is chain link fence,
Yep.
which will need to stay, the reason they can't jump so high is because it's
The
steep.
ravine, right,
right.
so that fence could potentially be 6 feet,
Right,
or 6.5 feet, or whatever
right,
it is,
right.
because
That's
it's
what
just,
we have now, and they can't.
they
get
don't
it
jump that.
because of the
Right.
slope.
So you're not considering replacing the existing fence with a taller fence?
No.
Okay, got it. So it's just this gate that has the,
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. I forgot
the
to say.
variance, okay. Just wanted to be clear on that, okay.
Do you know how far currently, how many feet the existing gate is from the road, from your property line?
Eyeballing it. $60-ish.
I don't think it's not visible from, you don't
No,
see
it
the
is
gate
not.
from the
You-
road.
Right.
You
so
would
it's
have to
not-
come
have to come
off
down
the
it.
street, onto the road, at least
Well,
2
you're-
car lengths before you would see the gate,
Okay,
And then it's several more car lengths to get to the gate.
to get to the gate.
okay. So
'Cause
it's
it
not,
bends
the
a
way,
little bit to
the
the-
location that it's in now, it's not visible from.
No,
the
sir, it's
street.
not.
Would you anticipate when it's constructed, it will be visible from the road? Or
How-
just visible,
Yeah, how far is the
Well, you'd have
proposed
to, I
gate
own
going?
30 River Avenue,
Yeah.
which is, I don't know, on the street side front.
it's right at the.
Right,
Mhm.
and then it goes all the way across the White House, which is another couple acres.
Yep.
So, but we're set well within
Mhm.
our properties, well within from the street.
Okay.
Do you know exactly how many feet you're proposing? We don't have a site plan, so it's kind of difficult to. It could be
Yeah.
Right on top of it, it could be set back.
No, it's gonna be set back.
I would,
Can't give you a precise number, but I would say in the range of, I'm thinking car lengths, that's probably easier for people.
2 or 3 car lengths,
At least 2 car lengths, if
at
not
least
more.
maybe 3 car lengths in.
15, 20 feet?
Yeah, at least 2 car lengths, because you have to have space for people to get in there and get off the road if they're coming in, right, rather than stack up on the street trying to get in.
Also, the people that live in 30 River Avenue need to have comfortable ability to get in and out.
Yep, okay. Manny, what's the basis of the 6.5-foot limitation? Is there a safety concern? Is there a rescue concern? You know, is it, I don't, do you have thoughts on that, or do we know that?
I don't know I think that's the number the village decided that
Okay.
agreed upon.
Yeah.
On the height. It is pretty much standard, most municipalities have it around 6.5. Seems to be pretty much standard height.
Okay.
Somebody just come up with a number
So,
that seems to work out.
We don't know, it's not, the fire department doesn't have ladders that can reach over
No.
or things like that, it's not, okay,
has
which I wouldn't
nothing.
expect, but,
Then I don't know that.
right, okay.
In fact, we made special attention in terms of the size to be sure the fire trucks can get in and out.
Yeah.
Comfortably. But can you tell them about the school fence? Right bordering our property, the school fence is about, if you go to page.
Right, yeah, that's
11.
like a 20-foot tall fence or.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
and
it's
that
20
borders
foot.
our property.
Right.
We're not asking for,
Now, the other, is it third, it's a little difficult without a site plan, it's really difficult to kind of figure out what's going on here. The 30 River Avenue, does that have a driveway that's on the private road?
no, it comes, well, yes and no. It actually comes off River Avenue, but it also kind of goes across the end of our private road.
Because there's 30 River Ave, there's one riverbank, and then your house back here.
Yes,
That's,
2
2 and
Riverbank.
3, there are 2 houses back.
Yeah, one is the colonial that you mentioned, and there's another more modern house there too. We've seen, right? I mean,
You can't see
looks like
it.
it's built in, yeah, right. Yeah, it's a little farther over.
where are the driveways? Is 1 Riverbank Lane, is the driveway, the entrance to that house?
There's actually no entrance to that house now. There used to be, years ago, before I bought that house,
Oh my God.
a driveway that went, as you come in now off the road to the right and circled all the way around the back. We closed that off years ago, and so actually they just park in the front. The reason for that is the driveway was driving over the roots of big, beautiful sugar maples, and I was told that it would kill the trees, so we stopped that immediately.
So you have 1 Riverbank and your house is 2 Riverbank? 2 and 3.
So
But
we-
1 Riverbank is on a separate lot, correct?
So they're all on separate lights, all 4 of them.
Okay. If you move the gate close to the road, is
Not
1
close to the
Riverbank,
road.
Just closer to the road.
well, it's within 20 feet of the road. If you move it within 20 feet of the road, is the entrance, the access to 1 Riverbank now inside of that gate?
No, the plans that have 1 Riverbank, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, it would be inside. I'm
the
sorry, I'm thinking of
access to-
30 River Avenue. 30 River Avenue would be outside.
So
1
1,
Riverbank
2,
would
and
be
3
inside.
would all be inside the gate.
They'd all be inside.
30 River Avenue would stay outside the gate.
Got it.
Is that a problem?
Is that what?
Well, you're restricting access to, you could sell that house.
We're not going to.
Well, I mean, but you could. It's a separate property, and then there would be shared, there would be restricted access to it.
Well, they'd
property
have
that
the
you
combination to
don't
get in
own.
the gate like anyone else. I mean, we have gated communities all around. Everybody goes through a gate.
Right.
And you already
Not
have
in the
that
village,
with,
though.
Excuse me?
you already have that with number 3 Riverbank, because that's behind the current gate.
Right, right.
Right, the current gate.
Exactly, you're
But now
right.
you're just gonna move that gate closer, and that will then also include 1, 2, and
Yes,
3.
thank you,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes, thank you.
And, yeah. so, okay.
See, the problem is like, it's, right now, it's very much like private gate to the house that's on their property.
Yeah, all right.
Once it moves
Well,
farther,
and,
it starts affecting other properties.
and I don't know
it's
how
very
current
risky.
use impacts things too. I mean, if my limited knowledge is correct, I know one of the properties is, or I don't know, I understand, but could be wrong, that 1 Riverbank is a full-time rental.
Actually, it's empty now.
It's empty now, but it's okay, all
It
right,
used to be rented and the tenant died in June.
okay, all right. And I thought, one of them also I've seen on Airbnb,
It's no longer an Airbnb.
but is it a short-term rental, or is it?
No,
so
we
you
live
just
in it.
You live in it, and so you live in both 2 and 3, okay, and all right, got it. So access, I was just getting at your question of
Yeah,
access,
yeah,
so,
I was
okay,
wondering that
right,
too.
got it, okay. The need for access is, yeah.
What do you say?
Just worry about the access. To make sure folks can go to 30 Riverbank. And then, you know.
Does anyone have any other questions for them before we open it up to the?
I guess I'm just wondering if it matters to the fire department at all, if the gate changes, if that's something that we need to find out, or,
That we'll have to request a Knox box to be placed on that gate if they're gonna lock it.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
You're gonna have that gate locked,
Well, it's not going to be locked.
or anybody can just open the gate and go through.
If they have the combination, and
Well,
currently we have the same,
Combination will be a lock.
yes, but the fire company has it now.
Well, it will have to be placed in what we call a Knox box, so it's
Yeah.
like so it'd be right by the gate so the fire department can have it.
Absolutely.
right? I was just asking from a procedural standpoint, if you have, so if 30 is outside the gate right now, and then will be moved inside
No.
the gate. do
No.
we-
No,
No.
no.
Stays out.
30
Oh,
River
so
Avenue
30
stays outside.
1, 2, and 3 are going inside the gate. 3 is currently inside the gate or currently outside the gate?
Inside the gate.
Okay, so there's no change into which properties are, okay.
Yeah, so I think you've answered all the questions that we need, so we're gonna open it up to public comment.
Should we sit down?
Sure, you can stand there, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
The man that's trying to come was the man that would be, his company would be responsible for building the gate. And I have a hunch that he went to Cornwall Town Hall, not,
Okay. Yeah, whenever he comes, he can.
he was only coming in case you had any questions about the structure, the footings, or anything
Okay.
safety.
Kevin, you'll have questions about that.
Yeah, so we'll open it up to the floor. I just wanted to read some letters that we received. The first one is from Jeanette McMahon and Michael Hauser of 9 Braden Place in Cornwall, Hudson. They write the board. We are Jeanette McMahon and Michael Hauser, retired Army officers and West Point graduates, and proud residents of Cornwall and Hudson. Perhaps you can accept this letter as an expression of our firm support for the application for variance from Susan Glendenning related to fencing on her property. We are very familiar with the efforts of Ms. Glendenning to beautify her property, which we view as a significant benefit for COH residents. She and her fiance, Archie Elam, also a fellow West Point graduate, are fine citizens of our community who do much for Cornwall community improvement. We are sure the gate entrance she has planned will be both beautiful and functional. One, its beauty will frame the entrance to one of Cornwall and Hudson's most scenic and historic spaces. It will eliminate some undesirable chain link fencing that now greets anyone approaching. And two, it will help protect an area containing scenic spaces, historic buildings, walking trails, flower gardens, lighted trees, and key spaces that are literal life support to one of America's most endangered species, the monarch butterfly. Thank you for accepting this letter and for considering it in your decision to grant a zoning variance to Ms. Glendenning. Of course, we are available at your convenience if you have any questions or comments. Jeanette McMahon and Michael Hauser. And we have one more here.
2 more.
2 more.
Yeah, there's this one.
Another one for Karen.
Carrie.
Another one is from Martha O'Gorman McMaster at 41 River Avenue. In response to the application for variance to code for accepted gate fence height, I object to request for a significantly taller gate fence than now exists, as the proposed fence would affect my view, especially if it is a taller version of the current fencing, which owner describes as ugly chain link fencing. I assume from what I understand from owner's application that new fencing will also be metal chain link.
No, it's not.
This approach, I don't believe, is appropriate for our neighborhood and sense of belonging. Sincerely, Martha McMaster.
So could you repeat the address they're at?
It's 41 River Avenue.
It's below you.
I don't even know where that
It's below you. It's down the hill a little.
is. So
far.
how could that affect her view
That's,
of the
that's why I
river?
was asking to confirm the address, because the geography doesn't make sense.
Couldn't possibly affect her view of the river at all.
It's like, I can see Russia from Alaska, it doesn't make sense.
Our third and final letter is from 31 it's from Karen Mogavero at 31 Duncan Avenue in Cornwall, Hudson. She writes, Dear Zoning Board, I'm writing in regards to Susan Glendenning erecting a new gate to her property located at 2 Riverbank Lane, Cornwall, Hudson. It is my belief that a new gate would be a wonderful addition to her property as well as an upgrade to the village. Currently, when you drive by her property, it appears that as a large chain link fence with a drive going somewhere. To me, it gives off the feeling of a closed and unwelcoming area of our village. I feel that a new gate located closer to the main road would add a pleasing aesthetic to our area. In addition, I think it joins with our village's current trend to beautify our town. This has been evident with the new awnings on the post office, fixing up the water department, and updating the plants surrounding our village hall. If the board has any further questions or needs more information, please feel to contact Ms. Mogavero. Okay, and if there's anyone in the audience that would like to add anything, please just state your name and address, and
I would ask during that
We should
you
sit down? Sure.
and the public comes to the gate.
Of course, thank you.
Good evening. I'm Andrea Hamburger, and this is my husband, Michael. We live on 46 River Avenue.
We had come up and looked at the plans and still had a few questions, some of which I think were answered in the course of the presentation, but still we want some clarity. And some of this refers, I think, to the question regarding Ms. McMaster's questions, because we live right in that same area as she does. And this is where I think the plans, as we originally read them, were unclear as to where this tall fence was going. So I would like just total clarification that the big fence the taller fence is not planned for alongside River Avenue.
By the
Okay.
taller fence, you mean the new proposed?
12
fence?
foot, whatever,
Gate,
whatever.
gate.
The gate, the deer fence even, but you know, the deer fence and the gate are not along that parallel.
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, and then if
Okay.
you want, I will show you on the map.
No, I know exactly where it is,
Okay.
so just, you know, I just
Yeah,
want to make
it's
sure that
not
that's,
gonna be a problem.
We were surprised there was no site plan in the
yeah.
books. We looked at the documentation a couple of days ago.
To be clear, the gate is
It's hard
planned
to
for.
Yeah, it's
understand
hard to-
that last
So the
time.
deer fence then is going, and the driveway, if you're coming off of River, you turn in, and on the right-hand side, the former me property is where the tall fence is going to be, the deer fence. Or that, I'm sorry, that's going to go away?
Okay.
That goes away, and the taller deer fence is going to be on the left-hand side of the driveway.
Yes, but it's not gonna be taller, and I'm glad you know it as the me property, that's more.
Yeah, it's easier to,
Okay, so all of that chain link fence in front of what you call the me property will be
Right.
gone.
okay,
On the left-hand side, across from the me property,
right.
will be a 6-foot-high, black plastic deer fence. You buy it in rolls.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
we
it's
have it
gonna
all
be.
over our house. We put up some
And
today.
it won't affect your view whatsoever.
No, not there, okay.
No, it never was gonna affect our view, that was not
Right.
really the issue.
So, so
I
if-
have a question about affecting, the thing that affects our view are sometimes the event planning that you have in your property.
We
So,
don't
well,
have
this-
any event planning in our property.
Sorry?
We do not do events in our property.
The website that you have up and advertising for
That was
$1,300 an event,
for 300 people.
with the beautiful gardens and the band playing on the porch.
Yeah.
There certainly is event planning there.
Yes.
We've not had an event there except a private wedding in 1990.
Oh, I don't believe that's true at all. I hear.
If I could just interject, the comments really should be directed to the zone.
Okay,
You're right.
yeah. Okay, just that there have been events planned there in the past, just for your information. Okay, and then just the rest of the fencing that goes all the way around, the River Avenue fence, the Shore Road fence, et cetera, is still going to stay the same.
Yes.
The ugly chain link. Okay, good enough, thank you. That's all my questions.
There was a lot of commentary about the improving of the neighborhood, and the views will be much better, and it'll make the village more beautiful. It will make the property more beautiful. It must do anything to the village, because you can't see anything back there. It's a dead-end street, private property road. You can't walk down or drive down, and you should not be allowed to. It's legitimate. But let's not make any assertions that are not true. It's going to improve the property values of Ms. Glendenning, and that's fine. That's in your right, and the fence will be a nice fence, the gate rather. I'm not opposed to making the gate, but it's clear that it's not going to be like a gazebo that everybody's going to drive by and be put on their Cornwall, Hudson, New York. Whatever you call that round thing.
The crest.
Yeah.
Crest.
I think the part that we thought would beautify for the village is that we're taking down the chain link fence,
Well,
which you can see from the road.
you can barely see the chain link fence in the road, the corner of which, by the way, you have to leave some of it, because if your gate's 20 feet up the road, you have to secure that fence line that 20 feet from the edge of the gate to the driveway, which accesses the property of 30 River Avenue. Otherwise, the deer are gonna walk right around your fence and walk in that way. So that's gotta be secured as well.
It's
So
already there.
there has to be some piece of that ugly fence.
Sir, it's already there.
It's already there.
Well, yeah, but it's not, you say you're taking it down, it'll go away.
Not taking
It
that
can't
down.
all go away.
No, sir, not that one. To be clear, it is the fencing on the right side of the driveway as you enter.
The me side,
Right.
that's what I'm talking about.
That's all.
Your gate, lovely beautiful gate, does not go to the edge of the driveway. It starts,
To a car length.
about 20 feet up the road.
I think the
You have to have
I
a
think we're
fence.
kind of getting
Yeah.
into a back and forth here,
I
that's
think,
not really
I think the
productive.
main problem that we're running into is we don't have a site plan of where
Yes.
the gate is now and where the fence is now and where
No
it's
objections to the gate.
proposed for, so
It's
it's
it'd be nice.
a little hard to pin down exactly what's being.
I think we were trying to be flexible, that if you said 20 feet or 19 or 8, we're flexible. We just want a beautiful gate
Okay.
to keep the deer
Well,
out.
when we review an application, it has to be a specific area, and then we can say, you need to move this back, or we recommend that you move it back.
Well, we did it as specific as we wanted.
Sir?
42 River, Gary Carassi. My property is adjacent to Glendenning's property,
Mhm.
where the ravine goes down River Avenue, where the chain link fence has been an eyesore ever since. Mrs. Glendenning had removed part of the fence that's adjacent to my property, right next to her property, and that's where now all the deer come in on my property and totally destroyed it. And that happened when we had that really bad storm. And I have these two large willow trees that I eventually had to remove that took out a couple of my cars. Mrs. Glendenning let that fence lay there for approximately 1 year. And
Yeah, I think we just need to limit the commentary to her proposal. as it
okay,
is now.
so that missing part of that chain link fence that links my property, is that going to be replaced? Or is that just
That's not-
ignored?
it's Nothing that is in our power.
That's
or
not
concerns
before the
us.
zoning board tonight.
All that we're
Was
discussing is
all
just
part
their proposal for a new gate.
Right, but that's what we were concerned about because that Martha McMahon, our neighbor, is across on the other side and faces that fence that comes down River Avenue. So our question was, is that additional fence going to be higher than 6 feet that comes down River Avenue? Besides, the gate, I have no, because the gate is, more or less closer to her property and up on, so I have no problem with that.
I mean, I think what they're proposing, there'll be no change in the existing fence that goes downriver.
Right. So in other words,
Change
the
would affect
existing
rights.
chain link fence, when that falls and in the ravine and all that, that's okay.
That
mean,
is
I
not
I just don't,
the concern of the zoning board.
yeah, but,
That will be, have to take that up with.
so
someone
it
else.
sounds more like the deer are being diverted away from her property onto my property, because my property's right adjacent to it. Yeah, and, yeah, with any higher fences, it's just gonna, the deer been here before us, and especially the deer that used to cut through her property and everything was fine, and now they have to go under and they have to, and it's a nuisance.
Okay, so it sounds like what you're saying, as it relates to their proposal, is that the assertion that they need this to keep the deer out is,
Yeah, I don't believe that one bit. And Mr. Hamburger said, he questioned her already, and yeah, I second that.
okay.
So the existing chain link fence that goes down River Avenue is just not going to be, that's staying the same?
Correct. Well, as far as this application is concerned, it's staying the same.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. Does anyone have any additional questions?
I do think a site plan would be helpful for all
Yeah.
of us.
So if I could just jump in on that too, it sounds like, we don't have a site plan. It sounds like there's been quite a bit of confusion on where everything's going, what's staying, what's going, and it might be helpful for the board to have a site plan. before you make a decision. If you don't feel you need that, then that's your choice too, but from what I've heard, it sounds like it might be helpful to have a site plan.
I don't understand why.
Well, we've had a lot of questions tonight. It's hard for everyone to get an idea of exactly where this gate's gonna be, which fence is gonna be removed.
We have pictures.
For example, when we, if we were to render an opinion, it's basically giving approval from the zoning board that you can build your gate a certain specific number of feet close to the public right of way. We can't just say, build a gate. It has to be, we're giving you permission to build the gate within 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet. So we need you to specify exactly how many feet you're requesting for the variance. And then,
How many feet from the road?
yeah, from the edge of your property.
Well, so, Mr. Chairman, if I could, they're only here for the height variance. Don't forget, so it's not, they're not looking for a setback, but still, I think it's been, there's definitely been some confusion over where the gate is gonna be and which fence is gonna
I
be
mean,
removed.
yeah, in my thinking of it, and perhaps answering your question a little more clearly, we have to consider, the impact on, the character of the neighborhood. Okay, and that's difficult.
Could I invite you to come and look? Would that work?
Well, I think seeing it on the site plan, is what would help establish how this may impact the character of the neighborhood. And that's one of the things, the duties we have as the Zoning Board of Appeal to consider. And it makes it difficult for us to consider that if we can't really see it represented on a site plan. All right, much to the confusion that's been, discussed here this evening.
Essentially, by giving an opinion on the allowed height for the fence, there's a big difference between having a 12-foot fence or gate that's right on the road where the public walks past, or if it's where it is right now, which is 50 feet down your private road that no one can see. It's
If we have a site plan, we
very
can.
different effects on the
So
neighborhood.
can you tell me, please, what a site plan is?
It's basically just a bird's eye view drawing, like an architectural drawing with dimensions on it that will show, for example, maybe where the old gate is, where the new gate is going to be, where the current fence is, the current fence that's going to be removed, the fence that's going to stay. I don't know for sure, but I would guess it's something your contractor could probably prepare.
Yeah, if you have just a survey of your property, it's just a drawing of where the driveway is, where the,
I did submit a survey, no, not a survey, a deed, I think we asked for.
Right, we have this picture that's put in the presentation, but, yeah. I think the one that shows, where the drive is.
so we need to see where the gate is being proposed to be placed, where the existing fencing is, where the fencing is that you say is being removed, and where the access to the other, all the houses that are affected by it are.
Can we get that to you and get that settled before the next meeting in January?
Unfortunately, well, you can get it to us as soon as you can, but we won't be able to meet and give an opinion on it until the next meeting.
That's correct.
And so who would be, when you say a contractor,
Like I said, I don't know for sure. I don't know who you're working with, but
Do you want a site plan by a design professional, sign and seal?
No, I mean, that's always ideal, but I don't think that's
Right.
really necessary as long as it's
So you-
specific about the distance.
So you just want a drawing that shows all
Yeah.
this information.
And with
that you can-
dimensions from the edge of the property, just so we have a real idea of where the gate is being.
approximate, dimensions to as best you can.
so can we do that? Would that, if we draw that, or do you need like an architect or
That's what we're saying.
an engineer?
That would be up to the board to decide what they're most comfortable with, but.
I think what we're saying, the part of the accountability piece here is understanding that if the current gate is 100 feet from River Road and you're proposing the new gate to be 50 feet, that we would want to see that on there, and that at some point we don't find it 20 feet from River Road when it's built.
We wouldn't,
Yeah, I know, but again, so that's part of what, in that 50, whether it's 100, I'm just using made-up numbers, but being us able to see that on, what your property looks like with the road, where these houses are, the access, see that, visualize it, will help us appreciate the impact it will have on the
sorry, I
character
thought
of the
these
neighborhood.
pictures did that.
They don't, so, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's, the board's going to request that information.
I still don't understand who in authority has to draw that. Can
Your
we draw that?
your contract will be able to do that.
Who's it, what's a?
The one that the contractor you say you have coming, right?
Oh, that, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear, we didn't make a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I don't wanna, you don't have to hire an architect to do this. If you have a pre-existing survey, anything that's just specific about what is on the property, you can draw on top of that, you can, as long as it's specific enough that we can understand what's going on.
Okay,
So with that in mind, my advice to the board would be that you adjourn the public hearing and hold it open until the next meeting date in January.
Okay. Motion to adjourn the public hearing and hold it open until the next.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay. You did all these good notes I took. I did that once, so I think it was, when I was living in Washington, I was trying to get a plan for put up a fence. And so I just, had a picture of the house that I then scanned to the computer, turned it into black and white lines, and then drew the fence along the front of the house and submitted that. And he said, okay, now I know what the fence is gonna look like. Well, that was easy.
Thank you, it made it easier.
Oh, thank you, yeah, really helpful. So, really helpful, see?
That was helpful, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we have to do the minutes. And I
Was everybody here at the October meeting?
I was not at the October meeting,
Okay, so you can't,
so we don't have a, well,
Matthew and Mr. Doyle were, so you really can't approve it.
Oh, because Stephen wasn't,
you can't do it?
no.
Yeah, so we can't do it, there's not a
January.
time.
Okay.
So just set your next meeting and I guess we're done.
Okay. All right.
Hey, just clarify about what,
Is this all being recorded?
I just wanted to clarify,
A
like,
bit about my picture.
The meeting is still going on, by the way. We're still going on.
if you want to adjourn, you can.
yeah, let's adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
So. We did that.
I just want to know, it's, the variance is for the height.
Yeah.
Right.
So if we approve the variance for the height, can they put it anywhere?